Doo-doo-doo. Hey, Andrew, how are you? Also, if you could tell me you can hear me, that would be great. Hey, virtual, how are you? Excellent. People can hear me. Perfectly, even. I'll take perfectly. That sounds great. Uh, one second. I'm just posting this one more place if I can find it, and then I will be here to start puzzle stuff. Uh, Alrighty. So we're going to start with the first puzzle that I ever made. I did not screw up the centering, I don't think. Uh, oh boy, that sounds like a long swim. I definitely could not swim that far. So this is the first puzzle that I ever made. It's pretty directly inspired by a puzzle by Sir Woozle, with a very similar rule set, although his rule set has one or two more rules that I did not use here, but very similar. Please let me know if I inadvertently screw up the layout at some point, as I am wont to move things around and then not think about the fact that I have just made it poorly centered. Alrighty, welcome, Tirganis and Riftclown, by the way. Uh, and Sazanyi and Andrew I already said. Excellent, excellent. Alrighty, so let's read the rules to this puzzle. I have mentioned before that I do not have a very good memory. So although I did make this puzzle, I made this puzzle a year ago. So this is basically going to be a blind solve of a puzzle that I just happen to have made. All right, so we have normal Sudoku rules, and we're going to break the whole grid into a bunch of killer cages. So I'm going to indicate the killer cages that I'm breaking things up into by coloring them, like that, for example. But this would be a bad example because every killer cage contains a circle. In fact, every killer cage contains exactly one circle, and that circle always contains the number of cells. So, for example, if this were right, this would be a 6 here, and I would need to make it so the rest of these cells summed up to 24, so that the total would be 30, the number in the top left corner. And like usual, they're killer cages, so I can't repeat digits inside my killer cages. Now, a key and complicated detail here is that the total obeys usual killer placement rules, which is something that you likely have not thought about. At least I have not thought about very often, except in puzzles with exactly this rule set, or exactly a very similar version, which is that the actual total is always in the topmost leftmost cell of the cage. So top first, and then leftmost within there. So when I'm building this cage, for example, I could not do that, because now the left cell here, or the leftmost top cell, does not have the 33 like it's supposed to. Hey, Sudoku Clover, how are you? Are you the Sudoku Clover, or are you another Sudoku Clover? Uh, Likewise, I haven't actually started solving yet. I'm trying to remember what the rules are to this puzzle that I made forever ago. And being very nervous that I'm going to fail to solve my own puzzle. Uh, Likewise, when I make this cage, it can't go up. But what it can do is something like that. And it can do this because this is still the topmost cell, and it is the leftmost cell in the top row. My wild guess is that you are the Sudoku Clover, but I never want to assume. Okay, so we got to put a whole bunch of cages down, and notably, we even have 3 given digits, so you can tell I made this a long time ago. This might be literally the last puzzle I made that had 3 given digits. We'll see. All right, so first things first, let's look for cages that can only grow in one possible way. So this 15 cage has to grow down because there is nowhere else it can possibly grow. I suspect it's going to have to take this circle because I don't know how else it's going to get to a circle, but I'll consider that more carefully in a moment. Let's see. This 38 cage is going to have to grow down. I'm going to make it red because I don't think it's going to touch the other red up here. This 6 cage is really interesting because it's going to have to grow down. Okay, and again, the way I know it has to grow down is because it's bunched both to the left and to the right, and it's not allowed to grow up because then the 6 would be higher in the list. So it's going to have to grow down. Okay. And the thing I immediately notice, about the 6 cage is that it grows down and it still doesn't have a circle yet. But a 6 cage can be at most 3 total cells, so in fact it has to take this circle. And now it's done. And so it's going to contain the digits 3, 2, 1, but even better if I remember what the rules say, it's going to have a 3 here because this is 3 total in size. And so we have this. Excellent, excellent. So we have at least 1 cage and it's done. And I don't know if I want to enable the pen tool. I'm going to enable the pen tool, even though Tristan despises the pen tool for whatever reason. But I'm going to try and see this, and I am going to very, very rapidly decide that I probably do not want to actually do that because that looks hideous. I'm just going to try to remember that this yellow cage is done, and then when I try and add digits to it, chat will yell at me. So we got 1 cage done. This 25 cage still has to grow down, so make that blue. Okay, and now the 20 cage doesn't necessarily have to grow down. Oh, it makes the rules not scroll. Oh, thank you, Ranks. I will figure that out for next time. Thank you for that, but I do still have that script, so I should be able to enable it. This 35 cage has to grow down. Let's see, I probably don't want to put a green cage next to a red cage. We'll make it purple. Okay, now I want to consider where this 15 cage is going to get its circle, because the 15 cage is at most 5. And I don't think there's any universe in which this is going to bend over and grab that circle or bend down and grab that circle. All of those things are way, way, way more than 5 cells. So this 15 cage definitely does not take this circle or any other circle. It can only take this circle. So that is part of the 15 cage. Okay. And I will go ahead and note that this cage now this circle, sorry, has to have a 3, 4, or 5 in it. There is no choice. Okay. I also noticed this 19 cage. So the 19 cage can't grow left, and it can't grow down because there is no down, so it must grow right. So we're going to go ahead and grow it right like that. But 2 cells is not enough for the 19 cage because I can't make 19. I super can't make 19 here if that has to be a 2. I can't make this a 17, as Simon likes to say. So this is going to need to grow at least 1 more. And remember, because topmost takes priority over leftmost, which is always my least favorite part of the rules to this kind of game, we have to grow this cage not that way, not this way, but this way. And now this cage is done because there are no more cells it can possibly take. So this cell is a 3. And now these need to total to 16, which can only be 7, 9. Okay, so we've got some digits going okay. So gonna have to be a 3 over here somewhere. I don't know if that's worth marking. Okay. So what else is low-hanging fruit here? Oh, this 21 cage can only go one way. I don't know how I didn't notice this, but this 21 cage can only go down. It can't go left, can't go up, can't go right, can only go down. So we will make this a... I'll make it blue. Why not? I don't think it's going to get over to that other blue cage. Oh, why, thank you, honey. Hey, Friar. Okay. Now, the 21 cage is not done, but I don't actually know it doesn't do something like this. Yes, Ransk, I'm solving my first puzzle I ever made. So I made this a year ago and remember basically nothing about it. So I am solving it and doing a blind solve of a puzzle that presumably, hopefully, a much worse setter version of me made back in November of last year, I'm going to say. So I'm planning today to solve the first 3 puzzles I made, I think is the approximate plan, depending on how stuck I get at solving these. With possible design commentary if I see something that I like or don't like. But no promises. If I get consumed solving it, I will consider that. Let's see. Thank you, Clover. You may remember this puzzle better than I do, then. Let's see. Okay, the 16 cage. The 16 cage can only grow down. So we'll make that yellow. And, so now we can play this game backwards. This circle needs to get a cage, and this circle certainly can't get a cage through another circle. And yeah, Rank, so I'm totally open to streaming doing other people's puzzles, but I knew zetamath, so I was able to get his permission to stream his old puzzles. Let's see, so this has got to be yellow. Okay, that's the moral of the story. Oh, don't worry, Riff Clown. I can show you some zetamath puzzles that won't impress you. If I continue to go through all of them, we'll get to them. So let's see. Can this cage be done, or does it have to take another cell? Oh, I see. this cage can't take another cell because it could take at most 2 more cells because it's a 16 cage, and I can't make 16 in 6 or more. Uh, so I can only make 16 in 3, 4, or 5. But conveniently, owing to these givens, uh, this circle can't contain a 4 or a 5, so there is no way. Do you like to, would you prefer the blue light point that way, Tristan? Is that better? Uh, so this circle can't contain a 4 or a 5. So this has to be a 3-cell cage, which means that's a 3. And so those total 8. And so if I know how to make 16, this will be an 8. Although that said, I did do an Ambrose puzzle earlier where I had to add 3 numbers or 4 numbers or whatever the other way. How about that? Is that a better blue light? And I added the numbers that I had to add like 3 times to triple check I was right. And then I broke the puzzle 4 times in a row because I assumed that just because I'd triple checked the addition that I had done the addition correctly, which I had not. Oops. Okay, so we've got digits going well. Okay, so there's a 3 up here now. Oops, 3 up there somewhere. Okay. Okay, I'm not going to mark this 3 because it overlaps the 21 cage and I want to be able to see the title. Okay, where else do we have that we know which way it goes? Ah, this 18 cage. No, this 18 cage could actually go any which way. Okay, so now I think this circle is interesting because this circle now has to get a cage, and I don't think this circle can get a cage that's not this 20 cage. Oh, could it get the 25 cage? Well, that's not going to work well for this 20. Plus, I don't think you can make 25 in 7 cells anyway. Triangular number for 7 would be 28. So yeah, this circle cannot get another cage than the 20. So these have to be connected. Okay. I cannot do 20 in 2 cells where one of those cells is a 2. So this cage has to keep growing and it can't take this circle. So it's going to go down. Okay. This can't be 3 in size because it sees a 3, so it's going to have to go down. Okay, and so now this is either going to be 4 in size or 6 in size because it can't be 5. But it can't be 6 in size because the triangular number for 6 is 21, which is 1 more than 20. So this must be done. It must be 4 in size. Okay. I'm so far not finding this puzzle unpleasant, which makes me happy. Now this circle needs to grab the 25 because it now is just completely boxed in. And actually, these 2 cells, because every cell has to be part of a cage, these 2 cells are part of the 25 cage. And the 25 cage can't grab any more cells, so the 25 cage is 5 in size. Something that occurs to me periodically, by the way, is that I used to set tons of puzzles that involve polyominoes and shading, and I haven't set one in a while, and I'm really eager to do so, but I have not... Every time I sit down to try and make one these days, it falls apart in my hands, and so I have not made one since I think Kropki-esque was my last, like, really omino-heavy puzzle. Which I remember Ranks working on, and he had to go to a wedding, so I was, it was, like, right at the end of his stream when he was doing Kropki-Ominoes, so I was, like, giving him hints so that he would not be late to the wedding. It wasn't his wedding, I don't think, but I think it was a wedding, if I recall correctly. Okay. So, not bad on the progress so far. Okay. what else am I looking at? Okay, so these three things need to sum to 16. I don't love 16 and 3 as a place to look, or 20 and 4. Let's see, I guess I know some things about digits that you can go here. Yeah, I think as you were about to start it, I think I had said something in chat like, maybe save this one for next time because you had to go. But I think you missed it and it had already started and was like, oh, well, here we go. But yeah, I don't think it ended up taking that long, if I recall correctly. Oops. Yes, Sudoku app. I wanted to put 7 in all of the cells. Okay, so these can be 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. These aren't 7 or 9. So these are from 1 to 6. Oh, well, that's interesting. Okay, so if these are from 1 to 6, this 20 cage is going to be awfully difficult. So there's definitely a 6 here, because otherwise these things total is 7, and I have to put a 13 here. So let's go up to, these definitely contain a 6. So these don't contain a 6. And this is either, so 2 plus 6 plus 4 is 12, which would make this an 8, or 1 plus 6 plus 4 is 11, which would make this a 9. So that's an 8 or a 9. Okay. So 5, 5. We've got a 5 up here somewhere. That doesn't seem immediately interesting. I almost know what these digits are, I guess. So there's a 1 or a 2. There's a 4 in there for sure. There's not a 5. There's a 6 and an... No, sorry, there's not a 6. 6 is over there. 7, 8. 1, 2, 4, 8 are the candidates here. It's got 1 of 1 and 2, and then it has 4 and 8 and 5. 4, 8, and 5 is 17. So it's 17, 18, or 19. So this is... So this is 18 or 19. That means I need either 6 if it's a 19 or 7 if it's an 18. So I think that's 6 or 7. A thing I have trouble with killer puzzles is I never know if they intend me to be using a calculator or not. So, like when I'm doing the killer ones in the Cracking the Cryptic app, they give you this thing where you can check boxes, and so you can open up a killer cage that has 8 options and then slowly knock off the ones that it can, and it tracks it for you. So it feels like that's fair game, that you should be able to do that. But if someone actually just hands me a killer and it's a setter I know, I'm never in a million years going to think that they want me to like keep track of what the 8 possibilities are. I'm going to expect that it's basically always going to turn out that it's going to be within the space of reason, and that if a cage currently has 8 possibilities, I probably shouldn't look at it until it has fewer than 8 possibilities. But it's fun to do the ones in the app. I really like the killer app, actually, where I can keep track of all of those things. It's just very different. And if it's someone I don't know, then I don't really know what to expect, is fair game with killer puzzles. Which is interesting, because I don't think there's other types of puzzles I can think of where it's unclear to me what tools are fair game. But I think there are certain forms of using a killer calculator that feel sort of akin to bifurcating, I guess. Okay. I am now seeing as I take a drink that this 38 cage has to get bigger because it's not going to be in 2 cells. So that's going to grow. Okay. And now this 38 cage is going to do something, because it's got to get a circle, and it could well be this circle. Oh, maybe this is a good question. Can this circle possibly get another cage? It can't be grabbing the 21 cage. It can't be grabbing the 13 cage. Okay, so this circle is going with the 38 cage. It has no choice. And this also is going with the 38 cage. Because now it has no choice of other places to go. So this is at least 5 in size, although I don't even think with 5 cells I could get to 38, can I? Because I need outies of 7 total, so I need at least 6 cells. So this is 6, 7, or 8 cells in total. Well, it's not 7, because there's a 7-9 pair looking at this. Okay, and if it's 8 cells, then it's missing a 7. I thought for a second there it was going to be one of those X sums tricks where it was going to be, if it's 8 cells, it's missing an 8. But I don't think that's right. I think it is legitimately, I think it could be 6 or 8. Interestingly, if it's 6, then the things it's missing are 1, 2, and 4, so it can't take this 2, which would force it to grow there and finish. And then my 21 would have to grow and do something over here. But that seems okay. Okay, so or 8. So what other circles? I should be looking at circles in the top row. I looked at cages in the bottom row, but circles in the top row I think are also interesting because the cage that has this has to be above it. Can't be that, or to the left of it. So I think these two this circle just has to take this cage. There's no other place it could possibly go. And this circle has to take this cage. I don't think there's any other place for it to go. Blue. Okay, this circle has to take a cage. But this circle could take the 21 or the 25. I think both of those are acceptable. Let's see here. Okay, how big can 18 be? 18 can be 5, but not 6. So this is 3, 4, or 5. Let's see, 16. 16 is the X sums trick. So 16, I could make 16 in 5 digits in a normal killer Sudoku. But I can't make 16 in 5 digits where I put a 5 in the circle. So this is not a 5. So this is a 3 or a 4. Interesting alignment there. Yes, I think Tristan has like ultra mod powers because I think he even has access to this account. So don't terrorize him. Oh, you know what would help? Sudoku. There's a 3 in this column. So this is a 4. So that tells me this isn't a 4. I did not see anything, Ranksk, in the chat, if you're trying to put a link in the chat. Let's see, so Sudoku and a Sudoku puzzle. I know, the Sudoku and a Sudoku puzzle is cruel and unusual. I do not know what I was thinking when I required Sudoku. Okay, so 4 is getting quite constricted in this box. I don't know if it's going to help me, but I'm going to note that 4 goes here. Yeah, I've had weird things where I've tried to put links in comments before. And when I've put links in YouTube comments, sometimes it's fine. and sometimes it throws a fit and just deletes it without telling me. What's the minimum number of cells I could do 30 in? It sounds to me like the minimum number is, let's see. Oh, okay. So 30 again I could do in 4 cells, but one of them couldn't be a 4. So it's got to be at least 5. 5, 6. Okay, could I do 30 in 7? That would mean I'd need the outies to sum to 15, so the outies could be 9 and 6. I could do it in 7 if I did that math right. I was definitely much worse at doing Sudoku when I set puzzles at the beginning. Certainly something I've gotten a lot better at. I would not at all say I'm good now, but I certainly am much better at spotting things. So my original puzzles tend to have more tricky geometry deductions than tricky Sudoku deductions. And yeah, Riff Clown, the 30 cage, I could make 30 and 4 as 9876. But in this puzzle, the circle needs to have the number of digits in the cage in it, and that number would have to be 4, and 4 is not one of 9876, which is why I said it could not be here. Okay, let's see. What else do I know? All right, so this circle needs to grab a cage. I think I can be sure this circle grabs the 13 cage and the 13 cage grabs this circle, but I don't know how. So weirdly, I think I know these are the same color, but I don't know how they're connected. I'm going to make them gray just because that visually stands out to me, to remind me that these grays, even though they're not connected, are actually the same. And so, oh, interesting. So that's actually a very convenient thing to notice. Uh, so this 13 is going to be in at most 4 cells because 5 cells would sum to at least 15. Well, it can't be in 2 cells or 3 cells because those are already in the row. So this has got to be a 4, and the 13 is in 4 cells. Okay, so now I have this 4 down here, that 4 there, that 4 there. So one of these two is a 4. Which feels like I'm making progress towards this, but I don't actually have any idea yet if I actually am making progress towards this. But for the record, I've so far remembered none of the Sudoku of this puzzle at all. I remembered the rule set, and I know that I set this puzzle in Excel when I was setting it, because I had not yet gotten into F puzzles or figured out that F puzzles existed. I was one of those people that comes into the Discord and asks how on earth you set a Sudoku, and then everyone tells them, oh, go to F puzzles. As seems to happen like once a week or more. That was definitely me. And then I went and like translated this. I have no earthly idea how I like solved Sudoku puzzles in Excel, although I occasionally see videos that show me that Mark and Simon used to solve their puzzles in Excel, which seems unfathomable to me, but uh, I guess this is what happens when you have a new hobby. Oh, hey, you know what would have been really helpful? This is the first thing I wrote in the grid, and it was in a box with a 2. So I could have forever ago filled in that those are 1 and 2. So that's not 1 and that's not 1. Okay, so the 2 is somewhere up here. Okay, now everything left in this column is pretty big because I have all my low digits in this column. Let's see, 3, 3, there's a 3 up here somewhere. Okay, what is the next question that I am supposed to ask? What cage takes this cell is a tempting question. What cage takes this cell? That's a good question. Uh, because the only cage that can possibly take this cell is the 21 cage. Uh, so go ahead and make that orange. Although Tristan will be uncomfortable if I actually call it orange rather than red. Uh, because whenever we do Sudoku puzzles together, he does them on his laptop where the red and orange look very different. And on my laptop, the red and orange look very different. But then on the TV, they look identical. And so I always call this red, and then he always says, okay, fine, Zeta, I'll change it to red so that you can call it red. Hey, 11ticles. I thought that was going to be really hard to say, but it does sort of flow off the tongue. 11ticles, I like it. Okay. So something has to take this cell as well. Is there any way the thing that takes this cell is not the 21 cage? So could I imagine a world where this goes through and sort of sneaks off to another cage? And the answer is no, for a somewhat interesting reason. That reason being, I can't possibly get to 21 here if I cut off all the places the 21 could grow to, because I cannot get to 21 in 2 cells. Oh, is it not 11 tentacles? Oh, I assumed it was meant to be 11 tentacles, but maybe I overread into it. Okay, so this does have to be orange. I think that is what I have walked myself into convincing myself of. Okay, now, again, if I make this not orange, I block off all of the ways that orange is allowed to grow. So this has to be orange, and that's the circle for orange. So this is at least 4, and it could be as big as 6 because it's a 21 clue. So this is 4 or 6, or green or orange if I want to stick in the colored mode. So this is 4 or 6. Is there any way I could rule one of those out? If this was 6, this would have to grow 2 more cells, but could well do something like that. One thing I'm noticing is this 33 cage actually has to have a lot of cells in it, and there are only 6 total cells the 33 cage could possibly take. Okay. So as before, I'm not yet certain I know what shape the 33 cage is, but the only circle that the 33 cage could possibly take is that one. All the other cells below it, all the other circles are claimed. So these two are definitely the same color. What's the minimum number of cells that I could make 33 in? Oh, well, I certainly can't make 33 in 4. And this circle can't contain a 5. So this circle must contain a number that's at least 6. But 6 is also the absolute maximum number of cells that this cage could have. So this just is a 6. And all of these are part of this cage, which I guess I can give a nun-gray color now that it's actually connected. Let's give it purple. Purple is my favorite of the cracking the cryptic colors, so I always like to save it for something really nice. I really like the yellow, too. I think this is a nice yellow. I may be the only person who has sat and ranked their preference order of the colors that the Cracking the Cryptic app uses. Why couldn't it go left? Oh, no, you're completely right. It could go left if it went down. Yep, oops. Yeah, so this 33 cage, yeah, completely right, uh, Cezanne. This 33 cage could do that, and that would be following the rules. That's perfectly fine. Uh, it can't go left from here, but it could go down and then left as much as it wants. So it could even do some ridiculous thing like that. Good catch, good catch. Uh, so now I want to look at this question the other direction. Is there another cage this circle could connect to other than the 33 cage? And I think the answer to that is no. Actually, wait, is that okay? That's only 6 cells. Oh, but if I do that, I definitely can't finish the 33 cage. Because now the 33 cage can only take at most 3 cells. Okay, so I think I need to be a little bit more careful, but I do think these two do have to be connected. I don't think this circle can grab another cage. But it does not have to be this 6 cells. And it doesn't even have to be 6 cells. It could be 7 cells. It can't be 8 cells. Can it be gray cells, though? Okay, and it could be 7 cells, right? Because I need my outies to sum to 12, and I could make 12 without a 7. Okay, so now there's only a few digits left in this box that I have yet to place. I still need a 1 and a 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and an 8 and a 9. Do I get any help from Sudoku at that at all? It looks like the answer is no. I don't think I get any help at all. I've got a lot of 1, 2, 8 stuff going on, but there's a 4 tangled up with it, so that is not immediately helpful. Okay. Now, at some point, I could use the fact that all these circles have to sum to 81. But I don't really want to add numbers and try and keep track of that. And certainly it's still much too early because there's a bunch of circles left, so there's going to be basically infinity degrees of freedom floating around on that. Okay, so what else am I missing is a natural question. I figured out that this 13 had to be in 4. Is there anything I can say about what those 4 cells have to be? Well, there's 2 more of them. It has to be at least one of these 2. Let's see if it's that one. Do I break the world? Okay, so I observed before that if this is a 6, then the 3 digits that are missing include a 2, a 1, and a 4. I should say that more cleanly. If this is a 6, the outies are 1, 2, and 4. So this cell would not be red. The only way this cell is ever red is if this is an 8. Nope, not quite. I'm not seeing it. Okay, what could this circle be? That's a good question that I've not apparently asked. Well, I'll tell you 3 things it's not. It's not 1, 2, 3, or 5. So this is 4 or 6. And it's only 6 if it's exactly 1, 2, 3, if it's exactly 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, wow, that's amazing, Riff Clown. Okay, so this is 4 or 6. Okay, so if this is 6, oh, I guess if this is 6, it can get a 4 there. Darn. Uh, it would probably have to. Let's see. Am I desperate enough that I want to good lift a column that has 4 digits in it? Probably. I'm getting there at least. Does this cell have to be gray? Yes, I think this cell has to be gray. Because if this cell is not gray, let's say it's a different color, green. Let's imagine briefly that this was green. Well, this has to connect to the gray, so it can only connect to the gray that way. But the gray is certainly not only 4 cells in size, so the gray has to grow. The gray can't grow up or left, so the gray would have to grow down. And now this is a green cell that doesn't connect to anything. So that's definitely gray. So that is something. Oh, I'm noticing this 33 cage definitely doesn't have a 4 in it. Is that interesting? Because this gray cage can't take either of those cells. It could make it maybe into this box, but in order to get to a place with a 4 in it, it would have to get... I don't even know. There might not... There's no place it can actually get in 7 cells that would have a 4. So one of the outies here is a 4. So does that tell me this can't be a 7? Because this has to... The outies here have to sum to 12? Oh, no, that would be fine. I could have... The outies could be 4 and 8, and that would be okay. Oh, well, I thought I was going to get to a cool deduction. Okay, this 25 cage needs a circle. And there is no way that circle is not this one. So 25 cage gets this circle. These two are the same. Though, again, I don't think I know how they connect. I'm going to use dark gray to say these two are the same. Okay, I can't do 25 and 3. Can I do 25 and 4? So it'd be 4 plus 3 things that sum to 21. That's very possible. Okay, so this could be 4. Is this puzzle too hard to stream? I don't know. I mean, I made it, so I can only blame myself. Perhaps I should get some testers to test my puzzles to decide if they're too difficult for me. Who checks these? Indeed. 4, 5, 6. It's vaguely possible, right? There's no way this is 7. The triangular number for 7 is, I think, 28. Now, it strikes me as very, very unlikely that this is 6, because all the numbers left in this column are at least 5. Oh boy, there's nothing more terrifying as a setter than getting a ping on Discord from a, hey, I'm kind of stuck on this puzzle, a screenshot of a puzzle that I set 2 months ago, and me looking at it and being like, oh no, oh no. Oh no, I do not have a triple. Yeah, I have found having solution path documents around for my puzzles very helpful for when I get these sorts of questions. Although I'd say the most common time I get pings asking me for help with a puzzle is when someone does it on a video on CTC, and so someone tries it, and so they literally have access to a solution video when they're pinging me, but they want to do it for themselves first. 4, 5, 6. Okay, so this 26 cage has to be grabbing this circle. And this 28 cage has to be grabbing that circle. And that's it. That's the end of circle grabbing for these things. The other question is this right up to here that is really hard to scan for? Because it's like I can pull up a solution document and then I've got to try and like scan for the digits they have placed and all of the pencil marks they have, and I try and do it, but sometimes it is tricky. Although I know I did that with Ranks once. I did a puzzle for him and I sent him the solution. He's like, "Yep, that's right." And then 5 minutes later, "Oh, this is not right. This is not right at all." Uh, but that was one of those evil taxi cab ones where I somehow at some point went off the rails on the taxi cab 4 puzzle, I think it was. Let's see. Got to stall for time so that no one notices that I have no idea what I'm doing. Okay. There's a 5 here somewhere. I don't know. Yeah, I thought it was a birthday puzzle for Jessica. Oh, can this even get to 6 anymore? And is this right up to here tool would be great. Um, I will confess that often when I'm doing a puzzle and I don't have Tristan there to yell at me if I do something wrong, that if it's something that Ranks Solver can actually do, I will put an F puzzles page where I have solved the puzzle, or where I just hit solve and look at it, and I can check back and forth and make sure when I place a digit that I haven't screwed it up yet. Especially if I break a puzzle once, then I'll often do that. Oh yeah, Broken 159. I'm excited to do more stuff with Broken 159, and I'm excited that now all the forms of 159 will be in Ranks Solver, which I am certain will lead to many horrible iterations of. So, I mean, people were talking the other day about how there's demand for a 3D wave particles puzzle. I feel like using a combination of the 3 different kinds of 159 and a negative constraint in Ranks Solver would be the perfect way to make a 3D wave particles puzzle. Uh, but to be clear, I don't think anyone ever actually wants to do a 3D wave particles puzzle. I think people just want to watch Simon suffer through a 3D waves particles puzzle. Uh, okay, this 21 cage needs to get a bunch of digits. Where is it getting a bunch of digits? It could be grabbing them there. It could be grabbing them down here. Although if it grabs that one, it's got a 4 and a 2 in it. Oh, this 21 cage absolutely cannot grab the 2. Because if this 21 cage grabbed the 2, it would block off the 38 cage, which only has 5 of its 6 cells. So maybe I should think about that. What about this cell? What cage can have this cell? I think there are only 2 cages that could possibly have this cell. I think the 21 could if it goes exactly like that. Or the 35 could, because the 35 is nowhere near done. Okay, so let's fill in. The 35 has outies of 10. So that means it's at least 6 cells, but it could be 7. But it can't be 8. No, sorry, it's at least 5 cells, right? 5. It would be 5 cells if the outies were 1, 2, 3, 4 exactly. I don't think I'm great at articulating this, but it could be 5 cells if the outies are 1, 2, 3, 4, because then the outies would sum to 10. Otherwise, it would be 6 or 7, but it can't be 8, because then it would need to have outies summing to 10 in one digit. Well, thinking about multiple things at once is how I usually interact with Sudoku, so it should work, I suppose. So 4's over here. Let's see. This 13 cage could still well grab that. Let's see, maybe I should think about what digits can actually go here. Is that a good idea? Because a 13 and 4 can't have that large of digits, because it would have at least 1, 2, 4. And so the other digit would be at most 6. So this is from 1, 2, 3. It's not a 4. 5, 6. Oh, it's not a 3 either. Let's see. What is going on with Sudoku? Is there any Sudoku that I could do that would be helpful? Not that I see. Oh, okay. I think I have something. This 33 cage I'm now seeing cannot get this circle cell. So at most, in this direction, this 33 cage grabs these two. And so that means that even in the absolute worst case, this 33 cage needs to see one more cell out of these two. But unfortunately, that cell could still be either of these, right? I don't think there's anything to stop it from being one of those. Okay, well, that was not as helpful as I had hoped that it would be. Okay, still have this going on over here. Is there any chance? Ah, okay, maybe this is what I should look at. These digits sum to 45. Whereas these digits sum to 45 minus 19. 45 minus 19 is 26. Oh, so I just did a really, really complicated way of saying that, of course, these sum to 19. Because, I don't know if anyone has told you this before, but these sum to 45, which would have been a really easier way to do what I just did. But anyway, these sum to 19. Is that helpful? So these two sum to 15. I think this isn't telling me anything at all, is it? It's either 7 and 8 or 9 and 6. An 8 or 9 and 6. Woo boy. Oh! No. No, no, no. Nope. I was excited, but I was wrong. I thought I was going to be able to do something with with digits not repeating in cages, but I cannot. That I see. Okay, so if this 18 cage was in 3, these would have to sum to 15. So they'd have to be 7, 8, or 6, 9, both of which seem possible, as far as I can tell. Um, if this was a... It is weird how much of the CTC community is made up of setters. There are a few people there who I think of as mainly people who solve things, but I think there's a very strong focus in the community among setters. Probably because all the setters are there waiting for the ding when their puzzle comes up, and they're just like there, just waiting for that next dopamine hit when their puzzle comes up the next time. I mean, what are you talking about? I never sit there and constantly refresh the page to see if one of my puzzles got featured. That doesn't happen. Uh, okay, does anybody see the thing that I am not seeing? You may be more of a solver, but you're also an enabler for the setters ranks because I think an awful lot of the puzzles that get set couldn't get set without your help. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, I resisted as long as I could pencil marking that column. We'll see if my finally giving up and pencil marking it will yield anything. Not 6, 7. That's not a 5. Uh, that's not an 8. But I'm noticing actually there's a lot going on in this row that I had not really appreciated. So left in this row, there still needs to be a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8. Oh, so the 1 in this row is definitely over here. So that's not a 1. Oh, this 13 cage needs a 1, doesn't it? 13 and 4. Yeah, 2, 3, 4, 5 is too big. This 13 cage needs a 1. Where is it going to get a 1? It can only get a 1 right there. Hey, Garlic. Or do you prefer to be addressed as Garlic Bread Fries? I'm never sure. Your screen name has changed a number of times, so I think of you as Garlic, but Garlic Bread Fries works and sounds delicious. Uh, and you came just in time for me to place my first digit in 15 minutes in a puzzle that I made. So this 13 cage, just so that we're clear, it needs to have a 1, and the only place it can possibly have a 1 is there. So that's a 1. Whew. Okay, so that is a 1, and it's gray. Okay, and there we go. And I promised this cage that if it connected, I would give it a color, and I don't want to disappoint the cage, so I'm going to give it a color, which is going to be orange. Okay, so we've got a 5, 6, 8 triple left down here at the bottom. Okay, and how is this 13 cage working out? So we've got 5 here, so the remaining cells need to sum to 8. And so 2, 6 would be a perfectly reasonable combination. So would 5, 3. That would also work. Which unfortunately means that this could take this cell or that cell and still work out in many ways. Okay, so one of these is a 1. No, sorry, one of these is a 1. that could still be where the 1 goes. Okay, but hey, I placed a digit, and I turned a cage from gray to orange. I feel like that counts as progress. Ooh, breakfast sounds good. What is your go-to breakfast? Again, thinking about if I can finally do something with this 6 or 8. I'd really like to know if this is a 6 or an 8. Uh, so if this is a 6, then this 2 is not red, so this 2 is orange. So interestingly, if this is a 6, that's a 6. I don't think that does anything, but it's true, I guess. Oh, okay. Here's something. So, can this be a 6? Hey, Jovi, how are you? You even got your little icon there. Very nice. That I thought for the longest time was Leonard Nimoy, and I don't think it's Leonard Nimoy. So can this be a 6? It cannot be a 6, because if this is a 6, what digits are in the 21 cage? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this would be a 1-2 pair. But that can't be a 1-2 pair. Because if this is a 1-2 pair, where am I putting 7 and 9 in this column? Well, I'm putting one of them there, and the other is nowhere. And so this has to be a 4, not a 6. So this is not a 4. The Discord icons are so small that there's an awful lot of them that I have figured out over time what they are, but then my brain still wants to see them as something else. Like Gurkles had this lovely like astronomy scene that I would always see as Brian Griffin from Family Guy. Because it looked like the nose and everything, and even once I figured out it wasn't that, I still had a hard time mentally uh, remembering it was not that. Okay, so the 21 cage is now done. Okay, can this have... What digits can be in this? Okay, so I need these 3 digits to sum to 17. So if one of them is a 1, then this would be 5, and this would need to be 7, 9. Excellent, excellent. I like that guy. You'll get along with him well. So there are 4 4s looking into box 1, and Simon tells me that whenever there's 4 4s looking into box 1, it means you can place the 4. And so this is a 4. Progress. Is that the last 4? It is not the last 4. Oh, is there an X-wing of 4s? Oh, there is an X-wing of 4s. Because one of these is now a 4, right? Wait, no, where's the 4 in this box going? Oh, okay, there's a like more complicated X-wing of 4s, because this isn't a 4. It's like a 3-part X-wing or something. Because one of those is a 4. Ah, yeah, and then there's the square where one of these things is a 4. Okay. So Y-wing. Uh, where is there a Y-wing? I'm 100% comfortable using a Y-wing. Uh, I can promise you the Zeta who made this puzzle did not know what a Y-wing was, but I'm not afraid to use one. I now like Y-wings, but I've never successfully put a Y-wing in a puzzle. Okay, 6, 7, 9 in row 1, column 8. Row 1, column 8. Okay, yeah, so this is a 6, 7, or a 9 based on what's going over here. So I cannot have the 1 and 2 over here. Yeah, so I think I believe that. Oops. And I want to believe that because I noticed a long time ago that if I did something like that, I would get a quadruple in the column. So we're going to believe it because I want a quadruple, because quadruples are my favorite thing. I mean, sextuples are even better, as we talked about in my setter video. But okay, so that is a 1 or a 2. And there's one more elimination. That is also not an 8. So I now have a 1-2 pair. And now there's just one place in the column for a 3, so that's a 3. Okay. Sometimes wanting to believe is good enough. Okay. So this needs a 4th cell. It's going to be one of those two. Yeah, we can figure out some way for Tristan and I to both solve something at the same time. That would work. Next semester I'm on sabbatical, so I figure I'm probably going to have to stream in order to feel sane, because otherwise there won't be enough people listening to me talk, and I need that in my life. Yeah, I have nothing against doing setting streams other than that I think it would be boring. Like, I enjoyed doing the setting on stream, and then Tristan lovingly editing it down to something that I thought was consumable. But I'm a very, very slow setter, as the video, I think, makes clear. But I'm happy to try it, and if people want to watch me try and set something and watch me try all the combinations of something until I decide it doesn't work and then back up and try again, I am not afraid to do that. I just don't know how entertaining it would be. But then again, I watch the Cracking the Cryptic people stream The Witness, and it is amazing. So who knows? Okay, so this is done. So what cage is taking this cell? Only the yellow one, right? Nothing else can possibly take this, because nothing below can take it, and there's no way, like, the 15 cage is going to, with its 4th digit, reach up there, so this has got to be yellow. Okay, so the 16 and 4 needs one more cell, but it looks to me like it could be either of those cells. So 25 is in 5 or 6. My favorite parts are the parts where you play me on fast forward and you can see me like enter stuff all over the grid and then delete it, and enter stuff all over the grid and then delete it. And when I watched it the first time, I said I really liked the sound effect you put of it fast forwarding, and you said, "Oh, that's not a sound effect. That's just what you sound like on 100 times speed." And that made me happy. I know a lot of people listen to podcasts on like 2 or 3 times speed. I do not think I could do it. I should subscribe to Jovi's channel. I'm not currently subscribed to Jovi's channel. Jovi was promising to make me a video about exosets. Did you ever make a video about exosets? I know Ranks has a video about exosets that I still have to watch. Okay. That could be gray. Is there any way this cell does not belong to the 26 cage? Because the 26 cage has to get down here and grab a circle. So this cell can't connect to the 28 cage, and it can't connect to the 30 cage, because both of those would stop the 26 cage from getting its coveted circle. So I think I'm convinced there is no way that this cell can't go there. Or, sorry, there's no way that this cell doesn't go there. I think those two are together. That's what I'm trying to say. And now this connects here by some method, but that method might involve that cell or both. Now, interestingly, this number has to be at least as big as 5. Oh, and it can't be a 6. Because note this again, and I'm not going to do it in gray this time. This circle has to connect to the 26 cage. It doesn't have a 3 or a 4 in it. Oh, wait, it could be 6. Darn it. Sorry, so this is a 5 or a 6. I jumped ahead. Ah, but now I have a 5, 6, 7 triple. Ha ha ha. What power we have with that. Okay, there is my 5, 6, 7 triple doing some damage on that cell, so that's an 8 or a 9. These remaining things are 1 or 2. They're not 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, so they're 1, 2, 8, or 9. That one's not a 2. Well, I got very excited by that, but it does not seem to have done as much as I had hoped. I mean, I had a 5, 6, 7 triple. How could it not be very powerful? But sadly, it seems not to have been. Can this 35 really be in 5? Yeah, it can be in 5 if it is a 5 with 9, 8, 7, 6. Well, that's sad. It's a 5, 6, 8. So one of these two is a 5. That doesn't seem exciting. Oh, oh, how did that happen? I have a 6, 7, 9 triple in this column. Sorry, I did not highlight the 6, 7, 9 triple. But actually, there's only one place for 8 in this column. I do not know when that happened. It may have happened a long time ago, or it may be that I enabled the pen tool. No, or it may be that I don't really have one. But I'm going to try it. Let's see. So that's got to be an 8. And so this needs to be a 2, 6 pair. In order to make this add up, 12 and 8 is 20. Hooray. So these are not 2. And I suppose this isn't 2 either, so that's a 1. These aren't 2. Or 1. Oh, I could have done that way sooner because I had a virtual 1-2 pair here that I did not see. That is, I think, the thing that I should have seen much sooner, but I did not. But there definitely was a 1-2 here, and this was a 1 or a 2. So these could never have been 1-2. Okay, so these aren't 8. Okay, so there is a 1 and a 7 or a 9 here, because I cannot make this 7 and 9. 7 and 9 and 4 would be 20, and this can't be a 1. So, yeah, what's up?
Just came to get you more drink.
Oh, thank you. I love. All right, so one of these is a 1 with a 7 or a 9. So if it's a 1 and a 9, that's 10.
Hi, everybody.
And this is a 6. Wave to Tristan, everyone. If this is a 1 and a 9 and a 4, that's a 6. If this is a 1 and a 7 and a 4, that's an 8. Oh, well, that's great. Because if this is a 1 and a 7 and a 4, and that's an 8, this can't be an 8. Okay, so I think we proved this is a 1, 9. With a 4. And so that is a 6. What could be more wholesome than the zetamath family? Let's see, that's a 2. Like that. Okay, now it feels like we're getting somewhere. Let's see, how long have I been working on this puzzle? I'm curious. Oh, I don't see timestamps. Sadly, I do not know. I bet if I flipped to the other thing, then it would tell me, but I'm a little afraid to try it. So that means we have 1, 2. We still need a 2 over here. 3, 4, 5. Oh, but we have a 6 in the box. That's even better. Never mind, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to notice this is a 5. Okay, so I have spent 70 minutes doing this puzzle. That said, I have to say I'm pretty happy with how the puzzle has gone. I haven't had any significant complaints. So let's see, what do we have left in the box? We have a 2, 4, 5, 6, and a 7 left in the box. Okay, and Riffclown says the 5, 6 in row 3 is resolved by the 6 in the box. Oh, sadly, that is the thing I just saw. I was excited to be able to cheat off of chat, but sadly, I saw it at the same time. Okay. Oh, so I must know whether this is a 6 or a 7. Because this totals to 6 plus 12 is 18. That needs to be a 7. It is true. Uh-oh. Oh, no. Oh, no. I seem to have broken the puzzle. No. What did I do? Does one of these not actually add? Ah, yes, that is what I did. See, I very meticulously worked it out so this would add up to 20. This is not a 20 cage, it's a 21 cage. Okay, so back up. Okay, so now what did I do here? Okay, so that part was fine. Okay, but that was the problem, was I made my 21 cage add to 20. And I realized that sort of something felt wrong at the time about it. Okay, so if this is a 1 and a 7, that's 8. Plus 4, that's 12. This would need to be 9. Okay. Or this is a 1 and a 9, that's 10. Plus 4, This would need to be 7. Okay, so this can't be 6. I think that's the conclusion I was supposed to get. But let me double check that again, just so that we don't really destroy the world. Okay, so if this is a 1 and a 7, it's 8, plus 4 is 12, plus 9 would be 21, and 1 and 9 plus 4 would be 14, plus 7 would be 21. Okay, excellent. So I think this fixes it. So that gives us a 7-9 pair in the column. Makes that a 6. Makes that a 7. Okay. So now these aren't 2. That's not a 2. It's a 1. Okay, these aren't 8. Okay, so I think we saved that. 1, 2, 8, 9. Oh, okay, great. And so now this is a 5, and so this is a 7. That is all very positive news. Okay. So do I have this all marked up correctly? Okay, so... Oh, okay, so this just is a 179. Okay. So what is left in this box? We still need a 2. 3, 4, 5, and 6. Riff Clown points out that the 1 in box 5 sees up. Sorry, the 1 in box 9 sees up. Correct. So that's a 2. These aren't 2. 1, 9. Okay, excellent. Okay. 4, 8 looks up. That's a 5 or a 6. This is a 2 and a 5 or 6. Hey, Chili, how are you? I've been solving my own puzzle, and it hasn't taken me 91 minutes. We'll say. Everyone in chat just say that it did not take 90 minutes to do this. And then Chili will be impressed. Okay, we have all the 4s? No, we don't have all the 4s yet. 1, 8, 9 triple in row 5. Oh, excellent, thank you. So that makes that a 2. So 2, 2. 2 goes somewhere up here, but we don't know where yet. Oh, excellent. I am glad that I was convincing. I am known for my convincingness. Okay. So we have a whole bunch of cages now where we know things that we did not know. Like, we know this 35 cage is missing 2 digits that sum to 10 now. We know this 26 cage is in 5. Oh, I know one of these is an 8. So that's not an 8. Okay. What else is left in this row? We still need a 1. We've got a 2. Need a 3. Have a 4. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, these are not 5. Boy, I was really hoping that would help more than that. Well, this circle is definitely not a 1. This circle goes with somehow the 28 we decided, right? So this can't be smaller than 4. It's got to be at least a 5. Oh, it's also not a 9. So it's a 5 or a 6. Yeah, the lighting definitely could be better. Oh, are you Andrew? Are you Andrew Sarkis? I am still putting together people's YouTube names with people's other names. Okay, so excellent. I did a 159 whispers by you today that was actually super easy relative to what I usually think of when I think of Andrew Sarkis puzzles, like Strange Loop, which was amazing as a puzzle, but was definitely not easy. Hey, Raf. Let's see. Okay. I see a lot of people like start to say as they get to this point, like they're finishing up, which I think is like a psychological technique to convince themselves. So maybe I should start saying that this counts as finishing up where we are now. Maybe that'll help. Oh, I'm not going to do that though, because I do not want to mark the corners up. It's going pretty well. The weather was very nice here today, which I appreciated. We have to. It's not going to become a snow-covered hellscape until later this week, so that is appreciated always. Okay, maybe I'm supposed to think about the 16 cage. I don't know. I don't see it yet. Oh, this cell. This cell can't possibly be anything but dark gray. Yellow can't take it. The orange cage is done. So yeah, that goes with the dark gray cage. So that's progress. So now that is some of the dark gray cage. Oh, hey, Joe Wovren. Five in box five. Seize up. Ah! Thank you, thank you. That's a that's a gray black. No, that's a three. Thank you. Okay, so now this is a three. So these two need to sum to. So these two need to sum to 15. So they are either going to be 6, 9 or 7, 8. I don't think I know which one it is yet. You didn't ever put that odd even sandwich Sudoku on LMD, did you, Joe? I was looking for it and could not find it. But there was a discussion, I don't think you were there for it the other day on Discord, of what were your favorite puzzles from this year that you remember, and that was one that stood out in my mind that I remembered. Okay. Oh, you're absolutely. You can point out anything you want. You can point out major deductions if you want. Uh, Given that I made the puzzle, I feel like I can't get too spoiled on it. Although, as stated, I do not remember it very well, which is if anyone didn't believe me when I said that I had the memory of a goldfish and that would effectively be a blind solve of a puzzle that I made, I hope that skepticism has been dissolved by watching me do it. 18 in row 1 with row 1 column 8 is a virtual 7-9 pair. Ah, beautiful, beautiful. Yeah, so there's got to be a 7 or a 9 in here because either this is 6-9 or 7-8. And so with the 7-9, that gives me both 7-9s. So that's not 7 or 9, so therefore it is a 1. Excellent. So that is not a 1. That is a 7 or a 9. Oh, Sam, excellent. Okay, so hopefully that helps. That's true, that's true. I did remember that. Maybe I have it tattooed on my arm like that movie Memento, and I'm just like reading it off of here, and that's what's reminding me about the memory thing. I've definitely not thought about the movie Memento in a long time. Oh, hey, Kajito. Okay, this 3 sees down, so I can at least say that's not a 3. That's something. Okay, this 21 is in 4 or 6. Is there any universe in which this 21 is in 6? It seems vaguely plausible to me, unfortunately. Okay. This could be orange if this is a 6 and that's a 2. That looks fine to me. In which case this would be an 8. Okay, so if this is an 8, what digit does it avoid? If this is an 8, it can't have a 7 in it. Oh, that's not possible. Because if this is an 8, it needs to take 8 cells, which means it's definitely going to have to take this cell. And at which point it definitely takes the 7 that's in this box. So who knows how long this could not possibly have been an 8. But this can't possibly have been an 8 for a long time. Whenever I learned that there couldn't be a 7 in any of the cells that wouldn't be in this. Right? I think I believe that, because there's no way this doesn't take a 7 if it's 8 sized. So I think this is 6 in size. Okay, and so once this is size 6, it is missing 3 cells that sum to 7, so it does not have a 1 in it. It doesn't have a 2 in it, so this cell's not red. So that is red and is the last red cell. And this now has to be some color, so it's orange. And so now this has to total to 13. So that's 7, so that needs to be a 6. Okay, good, good. We have some forward momentum. That being a 6 makes that a 4. This isn't a 6 anymore. This isn't a 6 anymore. This is a 5-8 pair. Okay, so we're missing 1, 2, and 4. And so we're missing 1, 2, and a 4. So we're not missing a 3. Well, where is the 3 that we're going to have to put in this box going? It has to go there because of the 3 in this box. Okay, so these aren't a 3. Okay, that's not a 6. Okay. Yeah, so this is a 1, 5, 6, 9. Okay, so this is a 21 and 4. Oh, well, this 4 sees... Okay, let's do some Sudoku. This 4 sees that 8 and that 4. Let's see. Wasn't there one more 4? Yes, it sees that that's not a 4, so that's a 4. Current sum of circles is very high. Let's see. So 4, 7, 11, 15, 18, 24, 28, 33, 37, 42, 45, 48, 54, 58. Oh, 65. Okay, so those circles sum to 65. So I need the remaining circles to sum to... So I need the remaining circles, 65... I need the remaining circles to sum to 16. So these circles need to sum to 16. Okay. And this is because the circles give the total number of cells in each cage, but the cages cover the entire grid. So they are 81 in total. And so I need these to total to 16. Okay. So there's no way this cell is a 7, because even if I minimize these at 5 and 5, then this still can't be 7. So I will write a 7 into it. Yeah, so that's not a 7. And so 2 of these are 5s, and 1 of them is 6. So if 2 of these are 5s, and 1 of them is 6, well, these 2 can't be the 5s. These must be a 5-6 pair, and so they total 11 now, which means this needs to be a 5. Okay, good, good. Further progress. 15 cage in box 1 needs exactly 1 more cell. Yes, I agree with that. Do we know what cell it is? Oh, this cell. Where else can this cell go? The answer is this cell cannot go anywhere else, right? The 18 can't take it. The 30 cage can't take it. So this is red. Woohoo! Okay, and so that finishes the 15 cage. So this is 11 and 3. I don't think I know anything nice about 11 and 3 without using a 4. Someone can correct me if I'm wrong. Now yellow cage can't take both. 5 can only go in row 9, column 6. In row 9 and column 6. Column 6, where can 5 go? 5 definitely isn't here because it's gray. That was a good spot. Seeing that this can't be 5 because it's gray, that was hard to see. Nicely done, Sam. Or Cogito, I think Sam was Cogito. That can't be a 5 because it's in a box with a 5. So 5, yeah, 5 in this box, or sorry, 5 in this column, only there. Hidden single 5. Yeah, I admit I thought I was going to find this puzzle easy because I said it so long ago when I was bad at this, but this is definitely not, for me, an easy puzzle still. Okay, so that's a 5, that's an 8. I know I saw some other... Can't take 2n6 from column 7, so row 2, column 7 is gray. Yes, if I took 2n6, then I would add 2 and 6 to 4, which would be 12, and that would need to be a 2. which would repeat the 2, so I can't do that. So this cannot be yellow. So that's yellow. And this now has to be gray because it can't be anything else. Okay, we must continue rewarding the cages when they fill by giving them a color, so you can be a real color now. Only 7, 8, and 9 left in box 8. How does it feel being on the other side of having Sudoku advice in chat, Ranks? Usually it's getting shouted at you instead of the other way around. Let's see. Kojito Raf. Can't take 2 and 6. Okay, I got that one. 5 can only go there. I got that one. Row 9, column 1. Oh, okay, got that one. 25 cage still needs a cell. Ah, yes, okay, so this cage still needs a cell. Do we know which one it is? It's amazing. It's amazing. I love that I could hear Tristan laughing from downstairs to Runk's comment, I presume. Unless Tristan has become bored of watching the stream and is doing something else downstairs, which I don't think is what's happening, but who knows? It's possible. Okay. 7. Okay, this needs tons more going on. Okay, should I ask a question? Where does this 8 go? What cage does it go in? It can't possibly make the 21 cage, because the 21 cage is in 4. So I think it has to go in the 35 cage, right? There's no way this 28 cage goes down here, because it would cut off the 35 cage. So I think all of this is just purple. Someone pointed out the 25 cage does still need another cell. I agree the 25 cage needs another cell. Do I know which cell that is? Could this not be orange? Because I think that, as far as I can see, this could be orange, and then the 25 cage could take that cell, or that cell, or that cell, as far as I can tell. But I was just eyeballing this 21 cage. Could this really be a 21 cage in 4 and have a 1 in it? Then this would be 5. I would need the remaining 2 things to total to 16, which would have to be 7 and 9. Somewhat obnoxiously, I could take 7 and 9. It looks like to me. Oh, I only was coloring things not when they were done having cells, but when they were connected. Because I was reserving gray for my goldfish brain to remind me when I was saying that 2 things were the same polyomino, even though they weren't connected. So I started that here just so that I would say, this 6 is connected with this. Speaking of, this 6 is connected with this, just hypothetically. So that's not a 6. Hey, Panthera, welcome. Okay, so I've got a 6, 7, 8, 9 left to place in the column. That doesn't do anything for me. It doesn't look like. Okay. There's a 6 looking over here. So that's a 2. That's a 6. And I think I'm going to still do one more puzzle after this. That is my intention after I finish this, hopefully, before breaking it again. We're hoping. We're optimistic. Let's see. All right, there should be lots of Sudoku that can get done now that I'm filling in so many digits all at once. The 21 cage might be the only cage that can take row 8, column 3. Let's see. Yeah, where else could take this? So the 38 cage, remember, is done. Hopefully that adds to 38. I'm a little scared to check it. It looks like it does, though. And could this 35 and 7 cage possibly take this cell? No, it could not. Uh, so uh, so I think I agree. I think this can only get taken by the 21 cage, which could only take it if it does this, and that finishes the 21 cage. Yeah, I'm very happy to do puzzles that aren't my puzzles on these. I just figured that was a good place to start, since there are many streamers who do puzzles, but there are no streamers who are quite what's the word, narcissistic enough to do their own puzzles. So I thought that could be the be my niche, but I'm happy to do other puzzles too. The 5-6 circle at the bottom has to be part of the 28 cage. Yes, I agree. This has to be part of the 28 cage. Do I know how it gets to the 28 cage? I prefer Japanese sums or other types. Sudoku uh, generally is broken into two types: the Japanese sums and the not Japanese sums Sudokus. I am excited. I hear there's this pack of like something like 400 Japanese sum Sudokus. I am excited to try those at some point. Uh, 5 can't be in a 35 cage. Ah, yes, because the 35 cage is missing digits that sum to 10. Wait. The 35 cage is missing two digits that sum to 10. So doesn't that mean there has to be a 5 in it? If I ever need a brutal classic, yeah, the I somehow, when I was guesting on Rank's stream, I missed the string of brutal classics. Uh, let's see. But yeah, lately, Ranks is getting all of them. Let's see. There's got to be a 3 in here just by uh, Sudoku or whatever. Row 7, column 2 is purple. Row 7, column 2. That is purple. Uh, I was going to say, oh, wait, I didn't see him do that classic today. I must have left right before, but that's right. It got delayed until next time. Uh, so, yeah, I think that the really smart thing about the testing that you're doing, Ranks, is not just that it makes it so that you don't have the hardest puzzles a bunch in a row, but also to make sure that you actually do the hard one when you're fresh for it and can handle the hard one. And then uh, until I actually did the stream with you, I didn't sort of appreciate the mental decay that happens over the course of 4 hours of doing Sudoku. Okay, row 6, column 2 must be part of the 28 cage. Row 6, column 2. Uh, why can this not be the 7th cell of the 35 cage? I think people are seeing something about the 35 cage that's probably right. I just am not seeing it at the moment. Uh, the 15 cage needs 8 more and 1 7 breaks, so it has to be 2 6. Okay. I I like that. Okay, so the 15 cage uh needs 8 more um because it's got a 3 in it already. Okay, so the 8 is either 1 7 or it is 2 6. And the claim is it can't be 1 7 because that breaks. I see that I can't put a 7 over here, and I see that we can't put a 1 here. Is there a reason I'm not seeing that I couldn't put a 7 here and a 7 here and a 1 here, say? Because the ones are going over like that? Oh yeah, I'd completely forgotten about the that you used to do one stream a week and have them go on forever. And I remember originally I thought that you must be in Europe because they went on for so long, and it was at such a time. And then I also remembered that you'd said you were in Seattle, and I couldn't quite figure it out. Okay, there's a 5-6 pair in this column, which we noted a long time ago, but I can use to clean up this 6. You can't have a 1-7 in row 1, column 1. Yes, beautiful, beautiful. That is okay. That is an excellent spot because this can't be a 1 or a 7, and it can't be the 3 either. Okay, so this is 3-2-6. Beautiful, and that's not the 3. So that gives me a 2-6 pair in the row. So that's not a 6. So that's a 7-8-9 triple. And so if that is a 7-8-9 triple, we did the set your 7-8-9 with 2-3-5 or 2-3-4-6-7-8 Panthera. We really enjoyed it. That was fun. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 is the digit that's missing here, so that's a 5. Okay, so this needs to total 16. So that totals 9. So these two need to total 7. So this is either a 5, which it's definitely not, or it's a 1. So that's a 1, and that's a 6. And that's a 2. Okay. Making progress. So that's a 2. So these aren't 2. Those are a 3-6. That's a 5. That's a 6. The 18 cage is 7-8-3. Ah, yes. Okay, yes. The 18 cage is not 8-9-3, for example. So that is 7-8-3. So that's a 9. That's a 7. It's a 9. It's a 7. That 6 looks up, sees that 3, that 6. That's not a 6 or a 7. Okay, so this cell must be an 8 or a 9. Okay. The 6 certainly goes with that. Oh, there's a 3 in the row? No. Oh, there's a 6 in the row now, so that's not a 6. That's not a 6. Okay, these two digits are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I enjoy how the interpretation of the fact that I'm struggling to do my own puzzle is he must want hard puzzles. Let's see. 1 is in one of these two cells, but I don't know which one. As of yet. I maybe should know which one, but I don't think I know which one. So, okay. So what are these cells? We still need a 2, a 6, and a 7 in this box, it looks like. This one can't be a 2. That one can't be a 2. So that's a 2. Can I resolve this 6, 7 pair yet? It does not look like it. I can tidy up this column some more, so that's a 1. This is an 8, 9 pair, so that's a 7. That's a 6, that's a 7. Okay. R3 column 6 cannot be blue. Row 3 column 6, how about that? Okay, so this can't be blue. I'm going to guess this is because it breaks the sum. Because this is currently summing to 10. Wait, if this was blue, couldn't this be 9, 6 and make 25 and work out nicely? Where does 6 go in column 6? 6 in column 6 is placed. See, the crying was supposed to be part of the point. I thought that the crying would make it exciting. So we have an 8, 9 pair now in column 4. So that's a 1. This should be a write-in. It's a 6. It's a 1. Let's see. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 left here. Okay, so this can't be a 9 or a 1 or a 3, so it's probably an 8. So these aren't 8. I have a 9 looking at a 5, 9 pair. Yes, I do have a 9 looking at my 5, 9 pair. Thank you, Panthera. Okay, so these aren't 9. Okay, so 1, 3, but there's a 1 looking at the 1, 3, so that's a 3. That's a 1. So the 21 cage does have a 7, 9, we hear. So these total 5, so these need to total 16. So yeah, it just has to be 7, 9. I guess I could have filled that in as soon as I knew, and I use I in the royal sense, the royal I, meaning you, pointed out that the 21 cage had to go over like this. This I could have filled in as 7, 9 right away because I had to total 16. So that's an 8, that's a 7. Okay, so what is left in this column? Well, that's not the 3. 1, 2. 2 is missing in this column, I think. What is missing in this column? 1, 2. We need a 3. A 5, right? Yep, we need a 3 and a 5. Okay. 1, 9 pair in box 6 is fixed. Box 6 is over here somewhere. That's a 1, that's a 9. Thank you again, Panthera and Rift Clown, who both pointed it out. Row 5, column 6 can't be in orange. Row 5, column 6 can't be orange, because that would make all of this orange, which would make the total 17 way too many. Okay, so this is not orange, and if it's not orange, it has to be gray. So alas, we can reward gray now that it is connected by turning it to a real color. Okay, and now that this is part of green, this can't be a 9, because I can't repeat... What? No, don't listen to me, I'm saying nonsense. 3, 5 pair in box 7 is resolved. Yes, that's a 5, that's a 3. Okay, so what digit do I need to finish my 35 cage? So that's 10, that's 10, so that's 20, 25, so I need a 2, right? I need a 2. That's the last purple digit. Okay. row 7, column 2. Okay, yeah, so that's purple. Okay, so I've got an 8, 9 pair here across this row. This is supposed to total to 25, so that is 10. Ah, yes, okay, so this is supposed to total to 25. So I need 15 more after this. And so that 15 is going to be either an 8, 7, which there is no way of getting an 8, 7, or it is going to be a 9, 6. So I think this has to be blue. Let's see. Yeah, I get accused of having teacher voice all the time. It is just an inevitable part of my reflex at this point. Let's see. That 9 fixes that 8. That's a 9. So that's a 9. These aren't 9. It's a 7 and a 9 and an 8 and a 7. Okay, so we have finished the Sudoku part, but we still have to finish the coloring. Okay. I/we are better at Sudoku than I was when I set this, because when I set this, I could not do it without finishing all of the coloring, but we have finished it without the coloring. Okay, so these two just have to go with the 33 cage. So the thing I mistakenly did, that I think it was Andrew? Maybe it was someone else. I mistakenly said, so this 33 cage has to do this, like, I don't know, 30 minutes into the puzzle. It turned out to be right. 9 and 2 in box 6 must be green. Yes, okay. So that's green. This has to be orange now because there's nothing else it can be. So this is going to be 5 cells total. That's 14, 18, 20. This needs a 6. The only 6 it's allowed to have is that one. So orange is done. This is 5 in size, so it can't possibly get past there, say. So all of these have to go into my 28 cage. So 12, 15, 21. Uh-oh, I must have made a mistake. 12, 17, 23. The mistake was that I didn't add those correctly. That still doesn't work, does it? 17, 23? Oh, this is in 6. 23 and 6. So I need to add 2 more cells that add to 5 without going above this. So those are yellow. Okay, and then hopefully these add to 30. 13, 20, 30. Ta-da! And there we go. I suppose I don't have anything like really deep to say about this other than that was fun and very difficult. Like surprisingly so, actually. Today I'm just going to do this puzzle and the next puzzle that I made, but I will consider doing other puzzles in the future. But I want to do at least this one. So this one, Mark actually did on the channel. And Mark, funnily enough, did this polyomino puzzle on the channel with basically doing 0 polyomino logic. Like, he just refused to think about polyominoes until the very, very end of him solving it. Which I suspect is true because he knew things about Kropki dots that I did not know at the time, and was able to identify things. So we'll see how it works out this time. But this is Polyominoes 2, Kropki-esque. So in this puzzle, I also have to divide the entire grid into polyominoes. This time, though, I was given 3 of the polyominoes to start with. So those are 3 of the polyominoes. Okay. So just like the previous puzzle, I have to divide the entire grid into polyominoes. Every polyomino is going to contain exactly one circle, and the circle is going to contain the number of cells in the polyomino. So there are, again, three kind of given digits. I like to reward reading comprehension. So there are three given digits that are the sizes of the given polyominoes. Okay. And so the new rules for this puzzle are that we have white, whatever I call these. I think I made up a nonsense word for them. Oh, I just called them white boxes. So white boxes are white Kropki dots that carry the additional piece of information. Oh, can we have a link? I think so. Let me double check. 1 second. And we have a link. Yes. Here is a link. Oh, yes. Tristan digging up links would be great. Then I would not have to dig up links. That would be wonderful. If Tristan actually has them. If not, before next time I do this, I can assure Tristan has links to all the puzzles. Tristan can make a CTC link. Thank you, honey. See, Tristan is a super mod because Tristan can actually log into this account, so he can post as me. I don't think you would want to give your mods the ability to post as you, though. That worm fellow. Anyway, the white dots are white Kropki dots, meaning the digits are consecutive. But also, the white boxes say that those things are part of the same polyomino. So this string, all three of those are part of some polyomino. I don't know which one yet, but they're all part of one. The black boxes are black Kropki dots, so they mean the digits have a ratio of 1 to 2. So, for example, this 8 just has to connect to a 4. And this 2 has to connect to a 1 or a 4. But the black dots also communicate that they have to be part of different polyominoes. So that cell and that cell are part of different polyominoes. Okay. And all white boxes and all black boxes have been given. So it could be that these two cells, which are part of the same polyomino, they could have a ratio of 1 to 2. I don't know. But these two cannot have a ratio of 1 to 2. Likewise, these two can't be consecutive. Okay, so there is a negative constraint, but it is an unusual negative constraint based around that. All right, so that's the rules of this puzzle, and we can go ahead and get started looking at this. Now, I also included the fact that the unique largest and the unique smallest polyomino have been given. So this polyomino has size 8, this polyomino has size 2, meaning there are no polyominoes of size 1, no other polyominoes of size 2, and no polyominoes of size 8 or 9. So that means that has to be a 4. Okay, so that is helpful. So let's see, what else can we do? Okay, note we have no top left business. And yeah, this was my this was not my first CTC feature. This was my second CTC feature. Mark did this. I had posted this in the Discord puzzle archive, and then this got recommended through that system, and so that's how this was done. I will mention, if you like this puzzle, no, Flower was my first CTC feature. but was the fifth or sixth puzzle that I made, somewhere in that vicinity. If I continue this chain of going through my puzzles, which I want to at least go through like the first 10, we'll get to that one. Um, I do remember when I first made this puzzle, I missed this black square. Like I promised in the rules there was a negative constraint, but I just missed one, and then someone found it. This was before I had regular testers or anything like that, so I was just sort of like posting it, and someone was like, "Wait, this puzzle doesn't work." Okay, so there's a black dot here that does not have a 2 or a 4 on it. So this must be 3, 6. Okay, that is interesting. I'm going to go ahead and fill all the circles with candidates, even though that seems a little weird. But all the circle numbers are 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And those are the only possible things because of the promise about the sizes. So this is not a 3 or a 6. Okay, I may already regret choosing to do that. These aren't 4. That one's not 5 or 7 because it's on a dot. Okay, I have regrets, but it's too late now. We can't go back. So what else do I see? This long string is interesting of things that are connected. Let's see. This has to connect. So here's a first polyomino deduction. Oh wait, no, I lied. I don't know polyomino deduction yet. I know these two are connected, but I don't know how they connect as of yet. Let's see. What do I know? Okay, I know these two are connected. Okay. So here's a polyomino deduction. These two are connected. And this has to take at least one more cell. Did I not get all my 5/7s off of black Kropki dots? Oh, I didn't get all my 5/7s off black Kropki dots. Uh, Thank you, thank you. Oh, so that's a 3 or a 4. That's nice. Good point. Thank you, Panthera. By the way, I will say if you like this puzzle, I made a much better version, I think, at a later point called Kropki-Ominos that Tristan can put a link to. It's on LMD in the chat that uses a similar mechanic. It has a few more rules in it, but then it doesn't give anything to start. I was sort of at the time I remember I was really upset about having to give these. Really upset's more melodramatic than I intended, but at the time I was sort of like I didn't want to have to give polyominoes to start, but because this constraint is so uh, because this constraint is a little bit loose in terms of where the dots go, I couldn't make it unique without having these givens. But I later figured out how to do that. Okay, this can't only be 2 in size, so it has to grow to be at least as big as that. Okay, this black dot has a few possibilities, I suppose. This one has... that's nice. This can't be a 3 because there's a 6 below it. So this has to be exactly 4. And so this is 2 or 8. Those aren't 4. Okay, these aren't 4 either. Okay, that's a good start. Where does this 4 go? And here I don't have anything like... The real thing that's missing in this puzzle versus the previous one is the presence of a like top left condition. And so that means there's a lot more wiggle room on the geometry. Like I don't know that this doesn't do something like, oh, I know it doesn't do that, but I don't know it doesn't do something like that where it goes like all the way uh, up some weird alley. Oh, here's another obvious one. That definitely takes at least that cell. That one's not a 4. That's another deduction. Okay, what else can I see here? I remember that Mark's testing report, when someone sent this to Mark and told him to do this, it included the wording, not all deductions are trivial, which has always stuck with me as an amusing thing to get, uh, perhaps a terrifying thing to get before before starting a puzzle. Okay, this, oh, this column, and I'm certain this is not intended because, as mentioned, this black dot I just forgot the first time I made the puzzle. Uh, but this column has 2 black dots in it, and neither of them has a 6 on it. So they have to be 1, 2, and 4, 8. If this was 2, 4, it would just break the column. So that's an 8. And these are a 1, 2. Uh, okay, that's something. One thing I remember from this rule set is eventually realizing 1s and 2s can never be next to each other unless it's marked, because any 1 and 2 that are next to each other are always either in the same polyomino or not in the same polyomino. Knowledge bomb. Um, okay, let's see. This cannot be part of green, so it's got to grow at least out to there. I don't know if I love marking that, though. Okay, well, I can definitely mark that these two are connected. Okay, and then this does not connect there, so it either connects there, in which case it grabs all of that, at which point it would also have to grab that. And this would be a 6 or a 7. Yes, I hope we both win the get to 1,000 subscribers game. Uh, okay, so there's a 2 in this row. So if this is a 4, it would connect to an 8. I don't see anything jumping out at me immediately with that. Are there any places where there's interesting white dots? Again, not that I see. None of these are 8. I see that. So here's an interesting thing. 2 has to go somewhere in here. Where does 2 go? And I think all the places 2 can go are interesting in terms of what they imply. If 2 is here, then this has to be not 3. Because if this was 2 and this was 3, there would have to be a white dot between them, because it would be impossible for this to not not be part of this. I didn't articulate that very well. Let me try that better. Uh, if this is 3, the only shape it can take is this triad. Because if it takes anything else, then it's sucked into being much more than 3. And so this being 2 would mean this wasn't 3, and so it would then have to be at least 6. Otherwise, the 2's on here, and then we get this long string of numbers, which is interesting. Okay, so this is 5 or 7. That's pretty big. Okay, I'm going to mark up the rest of this column. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, well, this can't be a 3. I know that. Because of the negative constraint, this can't be a 3. Oh, why did I put a 6 in this column? Okay, I'm going to back up and do this correctly. Can't be 1 or 2. Could be 3. Can't be 4. Could be 5. Can't be 6. Could be 7. Can't be 8. Could be 9. Okay, but this can't be 3. That was my observation. I think I missed a digit and then put in a digit I was not supposed to put in. I think is what happened. Saying 5 and pressing 6 sounds like exactly the kind of thing I would do. Why can't row 2, column 9 be 2 in box 3? Row 2, column 9. Why can't that be 2? Oh, I don't think there's a good reason it can't be 2. At least not a reason that I justified in any way, shape, or form. I think it can definitely be 2. In which case this would have to go 3, 2, 1. Because I couldn't put 2 to 4 here. If that breaks for some reason, I certainly did not justify it. Okay. So I need 2 consecutive digits here. They could be from 1, 2, 3. Otherwise, yeah, they could be from 5, 6, 7. Not immediately clear. Okay, these are definitely in different places. Oh, this can't be a 3. Let's just write that. That seems worth noting. 5, 7, 9. So one of these two is a 3, just for the column. So that's not a 3. That's an interesting string of these things, but I don't have... There's nothing immediately that jumps out to me that I can do with it, just that it's interesting. Yeah, so one of these is a 3. Okay, that 2 can't go with that. This 6 can't go next to a 3. I mean, it's notable this digit has to be pretty big, but I don't see any huge thing. Should I think about this string? See, this could be a 6. If this is a 3, then this is a 6. It could be a 2 or an 8. interestingly, this can't be a 3, apparently. Why not? If this is a 3, then this would have to be a 2, which it can't be, or a 4, which it can't be. Oh, interesting. Okay. So this is not at all clear to me until I like actually see it in pencil marks. This can't be a 6, because if this is a 6, it puts a 3 here, and neither 2 nor 4 can go there. So that's not a 6. So this is a 3 or a 4 connecting to a 2, 6, or 8. Which means now this can't be a 6. So that's a 3, 5, or 7. 3, 5, 7, 5, 7 up there. That's interesting. Okay, so this is pretty small, but we do know it goes at least this far. Okay, that was probably a terrible choice of color. I'm going to do that. Okay, this, on the other hand, is pretty big, but it could snake around this cage either direction, which is unfortunate. I don't seem to have a sense of what way that goes yet. This 4 could get away with doing this. I sort of want to force the 4 to back up into this thing over here, but I don't think I can. I think the 4 could go this way. And then that way, that way. Interestingly, if these are in the same domino, then that has to be a 6. Sorry, if these are in the same omino, I should say, or polyomino. This was back before everyone started calling them ominoes, after Piotr V's puzzle, which was wonderful. Let's see. 8 in this box? Oh, interesting. 8 in this box can only go in one of 2 places. Okay, so screw this whole 2 thing. Oops. 8 in this box can't go in either corner, so it can only go there or there. Oh, and 8 can't go here. Because if 8 went here, I'd need to put a 4 here, and there's already a 4 in the column. Beautiful, so that's an 8. Which is wonderful because it gets us multiple digits, because now this can only go down to 8, 7, 6. So this is not 6 or 7. This is not 6. And so this is 3 or 5. And so it's either 3 if it looks like that, or it's 5 if it looks like that. Oh, but that doesn't look good. I don't think it can be 5, because if it's 5, it looks like that, and I've isolated that cell. And I have promised that all things are part of polyominoes. So this is not a 5. It's a 3. And that's red. And this is a 2 or a 4, and it's not a 4, so it's a 2. And this is a 1 or a 4, and it's not a 4, so it's a 1. This 4 has done a lot of work. There's a much simpler reason this could not have been a 5. Ah, yes, because there is nothing that could go across this white dot, right? So this could have been, couldn't be 4 if this was a 5, and it couldn't be 6. I'm not sure. Is that simpler? I don't know. So now, where is 4 in this box? Oh, sorry. I was going to do where is 4 in this box in a really complicated way, but 4 is just got to be there because that's a 3. Oh, well, I'll miss out on getting to use my negative constraint in an exciting way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Do I know which of those is 5 or 9? I don't think I do yet. This is a 4 that sees a 2, so this is an 8. So this 4 might be able to get away with grabbing all of those. Because these have to get grabbed by something, and they're either grabbed by that or they're grabbed by this. And if they're grabbed by this, notably, that has to be a 5. Okay. So 2s are pushed onto this Kropki dot. So that's a 2, and it can't be a 2 and a 3, so it has to be a 2 and a 1. Oh, and this 3 sees that. That's a 6, that's a 3. So that's not a 3 or a 7. Making progress all over the place. Okay. So one, not a 2, not a 3, 4, 5, not a 6, not a 7, not an 8, or a 9. You know the 5, 9 order in box 3. Do I? I don't think I see it because these are in different ominoes or different polyominoes, so I can't use the negative constraint. And these I don't know if they're in the same polyomino or not. 6 in box 3 sees a cross. Ah! Haha! Thank you. So that's a 5. None of these are 5. That's not a 4. Ah, it's not a 1 either, because there's a 1-2 pair in the box. So that's a 9. So we only get a dot between two things. If it's a white dot, we only get it if those two things are in the same polyomino. And if it's a black dot, we only get it if they're in different polyominoes. So I think we don't know which way this is yet, but we probably will soon. 5, 7, 9 go there. But it is very possible that I am not seeing something because I am very good at not seeing things. Okay, so that is a 3, 6, or a 7. Oh, there's a 9 already gone. So those are a 1, 4. Okay, interesting. Okay, so this has got to be a 5. Which can go all kinds of ways, it looks like, as far as I can tell. Okay, so that's not a 5, though. Nor is it a 6. It's either a 3 or a 4, or it's a 7. Those are quite different numbers. Okay, if it's 7, it has to look like that. That is the only way I make this thing 7. Is that possible? I don't immediately see a reason why not. Okay, this is not 4, and it's not 7. I gotta really keep an eye on these circles, because these circles... Oh, this circle has to go at least this far this way. There is no choice, because, well, it's got to be at least 3 in size. So it has to go at least that far. And if it's a 5 or a 6, then it's going to sneak up even further. Okay, what was this if this was 7 again? Oh, this just can't be 7 anymore because of that observation that I failed to make for a while. If this was 7, then it would need more cells than it can have, and it just can't have that many cells. So this is not 7. It's 3 or 4. Okay, now this black dot is interesting because it can't be 6, 3 because there's a 6 there. It can't have an 8 on it. So there's definitely a 2 on this black dot. And so it's either 1, 2 or 2, 4. So I try to remember to sit up in my chair. Okay, which I'm not this most skilled at. Oh, that one's not a 4. Which I think gives me no eliminations over there, but hey, it's good to know. Keeping up pencil marks is important. This is a 5, a 7, or a 9. I don't think I know more than that. But that does give me a 5, 7, 9 triple in the row, so that's not a 7. It is a 3 or a 6. Oh, that's not a 5 or a 9, it's a 7. So that's not a 7. This is a 3 or a 6. And that's nice because it tells me these two have to be in the same omino, which tells me that all of these are part of that omino. And so now I have some polyomino action. Okay. Now this 5 needs to take this cell, because even if it takes all of these, it still needs to take that cell. So there is no universe in which this cell does not get taken by the 5. Okay, this is some number that's consecutive with one of those. So it's either a 2 or a 4. It's not a 4. And it is either or a 5 or a 7. Okay, so that is 2, 5, or 7. Oh, it's not 5, though, either, because there's a 5 in the column. So this is 2 or 7. Getting somewhere, getting somewhere. We'll say. I believe in us. Okay, this 8 sees down, so that's not an 8. That doesn't eliminate anything, I don't think. This feels a little grindier than the previous one. It's not a 7. That's a 3, 6. Okay. There's all kinds of like almost negative constraints that I can apply, but I don't yet see any places where I can actually sort of like really make a difference with them. Okay, so if this was a 6, oh, it could go this way. It could even do that. That would be fine. Oh, it can't do that. This is not actually possible for the reason that it would put a 6 in this circle. So it would put a 3 here and a 2 here, but there's a 1, 2 pair. So this can't go all the way up like that. These two cells have to go somewhere that's not the green. So if the green is a 6, it might do something like that, presumably. But that looks fine to me. Five, 7. 3 or a 4? Oh, this can't be a 4. That's cute. Because if this is a 4, the thing that happens with this black Kropki dot is that it becomes a 2 and a 1. Oh no, that's fine, because this can be a 4 and that's a 1 and that's a 2. I was just seeing that this can't, this would have problems with that being a 2 if this was a 4. But no, it's okay. Okay, so the 2, so this is a good observation. The 2 we've said is here in this column. It's here in that column. So the 2 is on this dot. So this is a 2, 3 or a 2, 1. We do not know which one, but it's one of those. Okay, so so there's definitely a 2 on this dot. So that's not a 2. So that is a 2. Okay, so that seems fruitful. So that bounces back over here and tells me that's a 7, that's a 6, that's a 3. Okay, there's a 7 down here, and the 7 is definitely not on the black Kropki dot. So the 7 is on one of these 2 dots. And so this circle either is a 7 or it's next to a 7. So this is this can't be a 5. And so this is 6, 7, 8. Okay, good, good. We have made some amount of progress here. Let's see, I think I see I see a 3, 5, 9 triple in the column, but it's the only things left in the column. So the 3, 5, 9 triple is there, but not actually doing anything. Okay, so does this omino have to go up the column? Yes, it does have to go up the column, because where else is it going? So it can at most go... Why can't row 9, column 1 be a 5? It can't be a 5 because I know one of these 2 cells is a 7. And there's a white Kropki dot between them. So they both come from 6, 7, 8. So if I try and avoid going up here, the furthest I can go is here. Oh, but actually, I can even say all of this has to go with this dot, because where else are these getting a circle? The only place now, because this is a 3, this omino is done. So all of these are part of this. And so then because of the white dot, all of these are part of it, which means that we have, at the very least, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have at least 6 in size, and so it's 6 or 7 based on whatever that cell is. 3, 5, 9 triple can place 9 in row 4, column 3. Row 4, column 3. Because 5 in box 7 is restricted. 5 in box 7. Okay, so... I can't put 5 anywhere else. Okay, yes, so these are 5. The 5 has to be here in this box because of the confluence of the 5 in this column and the fact that 5 can't go in a black dot. Tells me that this is actually a 3-5 pair. And so that's a 9. Thank you. Good call, Andrew. Okay, so now the 9 is down here somewhere. Not on the black dot for sure. So one of these 2 is a 9. If this were a 9, that would be an 8. That seems okay. As far as I can tell. Okay, this is 3, 5, 3, 5, 4, 3, 5, 6. I was trying to see if I had threes aligning here, but I don't think I know that one of these has to be a 3. Because I really want to know this isn't a 3 because it will let me continue this up here, which I think is useful for some reason. Okay, so what are these then? I think they could be a lot of things. Okay, it can place 3 in box 4. That sounds helpful. Yeah, so 3 is on this dot in box 4. And it must be accompanied with a 4 or a with a 4 or a 2. So these are from 2, 3, 4. One of the circles in box 8 does have to be a 3, I am told. Can you explain that? Okay, this can't be a 2, because it would be next to a 1 then. Three can't be on the black dot because 6 is... Oh, thank you. I looked for 6 in the column. For whatever reason, I didn't even look for 6 in the box. Thank you. Thank you, Nebuzardin and Eleventicles. Okay, so 4 goes here. 3 goes there. So this now is a 2 or an 8. I don't think I know yet if it's a 2 or an 8. But that's a 3 for sure now, owing to Sudoku, of all things. So this column now has a lot of stuff in it. So let's fill in the rest of this column and see if we can nail down what this last white dot is. Okay, so this column still needs a 1 and a 2. Doesn't need a 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and it needs an 8 and a 9. Okay. Well, this is either a 1-2 pair or an 8-9 pair. It cannot be a 1-2 pair because there's already a 1-2 in the box. So this is an 8-9 pair. 9 can't go on the black Kropki dot, so that's an 8. That's a 9. This is neither an 8 nor a 9. This is a 4. Oh, beautiful. Okay, so Tristan has pointed out it is true to say one of these two things has to be a 3, because either this is a 3 or it's not a 3. If it is a 3, then it's a 3. If it's not a 3, it's a 4, which makes this a 2, which then forces this to be a 3. So in fact, 3s are aligned between these two boxes, so that's never a 3. And so this needs to take at least 2 more cells, so those become blue. Okay, now 3 has to go here because of that. So that's not a 3 either because of the alignment. This is a 3 because now 3 can't go in these two columns because of the 3s we have placed and can't go either of those places. So that's a 3 and that's a 2. Is this where I'm supposed to say, and now we're cooking with gas or something like that? That seems to be a common Sudokuism. So that's not a 3. Okay. what about this row? Maybe we don't quite know enough about this row that I'm excited to start pencil marking it up yet. It also sees a 6 in the row. Which it? Oh, that sees a 6 in the row. Row 5, come on. Okay, yes, so that sees a 6 in the row. Okay. So this is done. This is done. So this now has to join its friend the 4. It has no choice. They're going to hang out. And the 4 still needs more cells. So the 4 is going to have to go down. And the 4 can't take this cell because then it would be stuck taking that cell also, which has all kinds of problems. Take your pick of which problem rules that out. So these all go bam, 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 like that. Row 9, column 7 is a 5. Row 9, column 7 is a 5. Okay, so I'm going to guess this is going to be a what happens if it's a 6. Because if this is a 6, that's a 2 and a 3, a 4. I don't think I immediately see the problem. If it's a 6, there are negative constraint problems in box 6. Okay, if this is a 6... okay, if this is a 6, where am I putting the 6? Here. I have to put it touching this 5, 7. Wow, that's amazing. Yes, if this is a 6, I have to put a 6 in one of these two cells. And one of those two cells has to be part of this 5, 7. And let's see. And that one has to be connected to the 5, 7? Oh, okay. It couldn't go there just because of the 3. Yeah, I'm really impressed. I think this setter is going places. I'm still slightly concerned about the possibility that this is 6 and wraps around like this. A 6 goes here and connects with the 3, and then this 5, 7 goes up. Am I missing a... If I do that, am I missing a negative constraint breaking? I agree it's very, very, very close. And it's certainly something to keep an eye on, but I think we're not quite there yet. Okay, so this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. 9. Is the step you're not convinced is a good step the one we didn't take, ranks? Or did we take something that I did that was bad? Let's see. These can be 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. Okay, where does 1 go in column 7? Oh, 1 in column 7 definitely goes there, which means this is not a 1, so it's a 4. Good spot, Tristan. Okay, so these two cells are what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So they are 1 and 7. Oh, wait. that could be 7 if this is 5. The 4 eliminates the 5 next to it. Agree. And also, there's a 6 in that row. Also good. Have fun, Panthera. Okay, so this is down to just a 1 or a 9 as its options. Never mind, I was right all along. I just didn't know why. Okay, so 7 now has to be in one of these cells. In fact, 7 has to be in one of these two cells. Okay, so we're back to considering what happens if this is a 6, because now we have claimed that we have actually broken it. Box 6 would break because it would need 6, 7, 8 in the right column. Yeah, so if this is a 6, then I need 6, 7, 8. And I couldn't put, yes. This would be a 7. And it would be next to both a 6 and an 8, which would not be good. Okay, so yes, so that's a 5. I agree. So this shape is done. So that needs to be green to finish, because there's nothing else that could go there. These aren't 5. Yeah, that's maybe a slightly less complicated way to say it is, where is 5 going in this box? It can't go anywhere but here because of this 4 knocking out those spots where a 5 could go. Okay, so these are 1, 6, 9. So these are 5, 7, 8. So yeah, if this is a 7, now we're screwed, because all of these are definitely part of whatever this thing is. I don't know what it is. I'm going to give it a color, though. It's going to be another purple creature. But if this is 7, it's definitely next to an 8. So this can't be 7. It's 5. And so the 7 and the 8... what's the Simonism that I never quite believe is a real thing? It has to play something. What is it to keep these two apart? I forget the exact Simonism. It's something like play ballyhoo, but that's not it. Okay, that's an 8. That's a 7. Play gooseberry. There we go. Play gooseberry. The 5 has to play gooseberry with the 7 and the 8 to keep them apart. Excellent. Okay, that is not a 7 anymore. Okay, we have suddenly made lots of progress on this. Okay, we can look at that column. That's not super appetizing. Let's see, this is finished. Should I maybe look at this and see what happens? Trying to look at the geometry up here of the polyominoes and see if I can deduce anything. gooseberry. Did I do it right? Do I get my thingy? Let's see. Do I know anything about where this has to go? Like where this polyomino has to grow to? I don't think so. I will say this 4 really is looking up at these and going, hey, I'd love to just eat those and be finished, but I do not know if it actually gets to do that or not. Okay, what is left in here? Because I still need to get a white Kropki dot. Okay, so the white Kropki dot can't have a 1 on it. 2, 3, 4. Okay, so these things can be from... Oh, actually, these things are only from 5, 6, 7. I think the 4 polyomino from box 1 has to go left. If it goes right, it isolates 6 cells for the 5 polyomino. Oh yeah, that's really nice. Good spot. So the 4 has to grab these. Okay, so 5, 6, 7 triple now. It's definitely a 6 in these. So that's a 2, which makes that a 4, and that a 3. So this green is done, in fact. Let's see, 4, 4. Okay, so the 4s look up and make that a 4 and that a 1. Okay, so what's left in the column now? We need a 1. We have a 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and a 9. Oh, and it's fixed. Okay, so our 1, 9 is fixed. That's a 1. That's the 9. So that's a 1. That's a 6. I should put the right digit in, or the puzzle does not work as well. Okay, that is no longer a 6, so it is a 3 or a 5. Why do I feel like this row... Oh, there's a 2 there. Haha, so that is a 5. And that's a 3. So that had better be a 2. So this row now has got all kinds of stuff going on. So this is not a 1 or a 2 or a 5. It's an 8. What's the last digit in the row? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 is the last digit in the row. Okay, so that's not a 7. What are the last digits here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. These are 5, 6, and 8. That one's not 6. Oh, and it's not 8 because of the negative constraint, so it's 5. And that's a 6. So that's an 8. Let's see, so this is a 5 or a 7. I think I still don't immediately know whether it's a 5 or a 7, even though I have this 5-7 pair. This 3, looking over here, sees that this is a 5. So that's a 3. All sorts of digits going in now. Okay, 1 in this column can only go at the top, I think. That's a 1, that's a 2. The 8 that was an impressive not find, the 8 that was I put in right immediately next to a 2. So left here we have 6 and 7 still. And so we still don't know yet whether this is going to continue and poke out one more cell or not. Okay, so this is a 9 or a 7. So I have a 5, 7, 9 triple in the column. And so that means this is a 2, 3, 4, 5. This is a 6. So now, as I was saying, we get that this cell is purple. And so it is a 1 for various reasons. So that's a 7. That's a 1. This is not a 1 or a 6, it's a 9. Okay, so now this has to take 4 cells. And it always has to take this cell, I think, because if it tries to take, if it just can't take any other cells, so that's going to get taken. And now I'm going to regret that I made both of these purple because it might want to take that cell. In fact, it has to take that cell because if it doesn't take that cell, it takes that cell and cuts off the 5. So these are not purple, they are orange. Okay, so this column, this is going much faster than the previous one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, this is not 1 or 8, so it is 9. This is not 9 or 8, so it's 1. This is now an 8. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's a 9. Okay, that's a 7. It's a 5. 3, 4, 5. It's a 6. Okay. So now I really have to contend with what's actually going on with the geometry. So this 5 now has only one way it can possibly go. So it's got to zigzag out like this. And I'm going to make that... Boy, this somehow... Oh, it can be blue. Make that blue. Okay, and so now this has to go be part with the 3. I guess it already had to be friends with the 3 because of the white dot there. Okay, the 5 now needs to get out. It needs to at least take that cell and that cell. And it's either going to take that cell or... Oh wait, the 5 can't take this cell, because if the 5 takes this cell, it creates a 5-cell region to be filled by the 4. So that's not purple. But I think something like that could still maybe possibly be purple. So this is certainly purple or red, but I don't know which one. Okay, I should do a little more Sudoku. So that's a 5-9 pair, so that's a 7. Okay, so I am down to a 5-9 deadly pattern that I'm going to have to resolve by figuring out how the coloring works. Okay, so where is the correct place to ask about something? So this 7 can't take the 8, because the second the 7 takes the 8, it's also going to take the 7. and then it would repeat the 7 within the cage. So this 7 can't go into this zone, so it's going to have to go down at least that far. Okay, and so now the 7... Oh, I guess the 3 and the 7 have to take both of these cells. The question is if the 7 can finish in this direction. I'm not quite sure yet. There's still a bit of a mess. Okay, but now these cells have to go somewhere. Let's see. And they have to find a circle, and the only circle that these cells can possibly now find is the 4. Wait, was it possible? No, this is only a 5. Okay, so where does this go? This has got to go somewhere. Okay, well, these 2 cells have to go somewhere. Where can they go? Can this make it to the 7? If this tries to make it to the 7, that's exactly enough, isn't it? No, that's too many. This can't possibly make it to the 7. So that's purple. Okay, and one of these is purple. Ah, I can't make this purple. If I make this cell purple, then I've now made this 5-9 cell unfillable. So that cell is purple. That's the last purple, and it has to be a 9 because I can't repeat digits within the thing. Okay, yes. But I still want to finish my coloring. Okay, so where are these going to go? Well, I can't hide them all in the 3, so I have to hide them all in the 7. So that's orange. Like that. So now that's green. Okay, that is orange. Okay, now this cannot be purple, orange, or anything. So that's red, and that is purple. And now we have completed the puzzle. Alrighty. Thank you for hanging out with me, everyone. This has been a lot of fun. This has gone fairly smoothly, aside from the being slow to finish the puzzle part. But we won't bother with the being slow to finish the puzzle part. Let's do it again next week. So I'll probably plan to do this again after Rank's stream sometime next Saturday, is my plan. We'll do it then. But have a wonderful evening / morning / whatever time of day it is, wherever you're watching from. And we'll pick up next time. And probably next time I want to do at least the next few of my early puzzles. But I might start mixing in other people's puzzles. If you have ideas for what I could do, if you really want me to do other people's puzzles. If you really want me to do your puzzles, well, I know everyone wants me to do their puzzles. But if there's other people's puzzles you want me to do, you can let me know. And I'll think about what way I could do that. Or if you want to see me try and set something, which I warn you might be incredibly boring. But if you want me to try and do that, let me know. I'm happy to hear feedback. But anyway, I've had a lot of fun. Have a wonderful rest of your day.